Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube Astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the 2022-2023 Black Moon Lilith transit part 2 of 2. And the one positive about the Black Moon Lilith transit is that there is a higher level of it that can be embraced if one chooses to do so. Now, during this transit, if a person has been hurt by family, it's important to perhaps extricate oneself from those people. Now, whether it may be in the literal sense or figuratively speaking, I mean, such as not replicating the same behavior of those family members that may have hurt you. And it's about, being your own person. And a way to deal with family hurt could simply be through nurturing others. And it could be through working in home caregiving or hospital or even a nursing home as some examples. Now, it may promote certain happiness that may be deprived from not being nurtured or really just simply not being able to express this outwardly to family. Now, I understand these things, it could happen regardless of transits, but this may be more prominent during this transit than most others. Now, the Black Moon Lilith can also reflect erotic sexual drive. More people during this transit may be aroused greatly by being pampered, protected, and nurtured. There may be strong sexual attraction to motherly types, and there may be more of an emphasis on the submissive role. More people may seem introverted and shy regarding sexual matters, but the antithesis of this may take place in the bedroom. Now, it's also important to look at the house this falls in your chart because this could impact its delineation and interpretation for you. Now, this is going to traverse my third house for most of the transit. This could manifest in a number of ways for me. Now, one way which comes to mind is that it can be about very obsessive and fixated thinking. The fact that it's going to be in the zodiac sign Cancer can be really just a lot of it can be going remaining on hurts from the past, matters with family that are just basically that might be making me feel a little downtrodden, and it can be, again, very obsessive and fixated thinking. The fact it's in the third house of the rational mind and thinking, and being in Cancer again, it could be over home-related matters or things that are associated with the past, which can include past hurts, of course. Now, I need to guard against lamenting over those things too much. It may even be over matters that are negative associated with the family, such as feeling ostracized by them. And it may also indicate the death of someone I knew in my early education. And being in the zodiac sign Cancer, it may be a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant, or one that simply embodies those characteristics. Because the third house, is the house of, Black Moon Lilith is connected with death, and the third house is associated with the early education. Now, it's also important to look at the aspects this makes to points in your chart, as this could impact the delineation and interpretation for you. Now, this is going to make a conjunction to my natal sun in Cancer. Now, at this time, I may need to be worried about matters associated with trauma, even possible death. Yes, I said death. Some people may undermine or underestimate the significance of the Black Moon Lilith transit. Keep in mind, when transit Black Moon Lilith in Gemini made a loose conjunction to my natal moon, my mother passed away. And again, the Black Moon Lilith can be associated with death, and the moon is associated with the mother. Being in Gemini, it was a mother I may have seen as mercurial, loquacious, and vivacious. The moon also rules the left eye in males, and at this time I started to notice floaters in the left eye. The Black Moon Lilith can darken things. Again, when this transit conjoins my sun, It may cause trauma that could be associated with the chest, stomach, ribs, or water retention. And I wouldn't be surprised if I start to see those floaters in my right eye more at this time, because the sun does rule the right eye in males. Now, around the same general time period as this conjoins my sun, it will also square my natal Chiron in Aries in the 12th house. One basic way this may be expressed is that physical related matters may be exacerbated at this time. And again, the Black Moon Lilith is associated with trauma. Chiron can indicate physical suffering and wounds. And if there is anything I'm dealing with physically associated with the Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, such as what I described before, it may make dealing with the Chiron and Aries issues worse, such as possible headaches and general pain in the head, face, or skull. And another way this could manifest is the Black Moon Lilith bringing out negative characteristics of my Cancerian sun, which of course is the basic character of the person, and it could be such as being overly introverted and emphasizing safety and security too much. Now, with this making the square to Chiron and Aries in the 12th house, it may be more difficult in taking action and initiative, which is Aries, in dealing with matters connected with solitude and seclusion, which is the 12th house. Now, another thing too is that a significant time of this transit may very well be on October 9th, 2022. Now, transit Black Moon Lilith in the zodiac sign Cancer will make an inconjunct aspect to Saturn in Aquarius. Now, inconjuncts can often be about adjustments. There may be too much or too little responsibility to cybersecurity. Difficulties in the cyber world may cause too much fear regarding safety and security for people. A full moon in Aries will take place on this day, thus making the transit more intensified and amplified. Now, the transit Black Moon Lilith in Cancer is also included in what I would consider a weaker, controversial Cardinal Grand Cross configuration. I think it can have some influence, though. Now, the Grand, because there's some people that don't use the Black Moon Lilith in those configurations, but I still use it, though. Now, the thing about this is, I think, this Grand Cross configuration, well, not think, I know the Grand Cross configuration will include the Sun in Aries, Moon in Libra, Pluto in Capricorn, and the Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Grand crosses in astrology can indicate tremendous tribulation, adversity, and crisis. There can be a prodigious amount of activity when this occurs. It can produce much tension and exasperation. People may try to force their will on others with little regard for the repercussions. Now, on April 13th, 2014, there was a very tight Cardinal Grand Cross configuration. There was an inordinate amount of prominent events on this day. There was a tremendous amount of violence and volatility and death, and including a suicide truck bomber killing 8 policemen in Iran. There was a prodigious forest fire in Chile which destroyed thousands of homes. Some other things maybe that I'm going to talk to you about too that happened this time. There also was I said there's a prodigious fire in Chile which destroyed thousands of homes, but something else occurred. It was a bus that caught fire that was headed to Mexico City, which collided into a tractor trailer, resulting in 36 deaths. I would expect comparable events to happen at this time. The Black Moon Lilith in Cancer by itself can indicate more destructions of homes. With this happening at the time of the full moon in explosive Aries, coupled with it being in the Cardinal T-square configuration, there may even be an escalation of this Aries is associated with explosives and fire. The zodiac sign Cancer, of course, is associated with the home and family. Pluto is connected with death and the Black Moon Lilith as well. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.